Hey, good morning, everybody. Michael shines for you as we come back from break. 7:03, here we are. Tommy and Ben over there. Fargo Flash calling in about 7:20 to break down a little Gopher games and talk about the college football playoffs, which have been a real disappointment so far, except for that one game last night. But hey, it's college football and we love it.
Yeah, there hasn't been the best of games.
Yeah.
But I still had so much fun watching the Rose Bowl yesterday.
Yeah, man.
Just because Ohio State's so good.
Man.
Like, they are.
Can't believe it. Can't believe they kicked him.
Killed him.
Just killed him. Wasn't even close.
No,
Unbelievable.
At the end of the first half, you almost felt good for them scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, sheesh.
Corey, you destroy all hope, so I'll ask you this question.
You're the worst, Herman.
And obviously,
what a great lead-in, Zach. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Corey, you big douchebag. I got a question for you.
Go on.
You're a giant reality check.
You're a giant a-hole, so I'll ask you.
But
Yes,
could
Zachary.
this mean, this is obviously the first year of the expanded playoff. Could this mean that moving forward with all this exposure, with all these teams, these opportunities to play on a national stage, will this get better as we go forward here? Will other teams get better? Will the parity increase in college football because of all these games? Or will the elites continue to dominate the non-elite?
No, it will only get worse.
Okay, that's what I figured. That's what I wanted to hear. So I asked you.
I don't know.
What'd you say, Zach?
But will the parity increase? Will this make college football better in the long run? Like, we're obviously seeing short-term blowouts in the expanded playoff, but will this be like this in 10 years, or will we see more parity now that more teams and more programs get exposure?
I think the NIL, when I knee-jerk reaction, I thought the NIL was just going to make the Bamas of the world become more. Mm-hmm. But now I think there's more parity because it's just going to be teams that could make a run with one good year. So all these NIL guys we're getting at the U, what if we make a run next year? There's a chance. I think there's more parity involved that way.
I've got the sunlight and I've got the darkness. It's great.
Have the Gophers picked up a bunch of big time players?
Not just being a homer. We're in the top 10 portal this year. New offensive linemen.
Holy crap.
The wide receiver from Nebraska. Some absolute dogs.
A wide receiver from Nebraska?
Yeah, and then a wide receiver from UCLA. Freak guys. Guys that were all Big Ten guys.
That's like a wide receiver from Iowa. Why is that a big deal? They don't even throw the ball in Nebraska, really, do they?
And I'm the one who sucks out all hope.
Yeah. Or you can be man, good for the Gophers. That's like a wide receiver. Pick up a wide receiver from Army.
No, these guys are there's studs.
How did we afford these guys?
Yeah.
We actually had money for these guys?
Yeah, but I think they're just coming to play. And just they kind of see what's going on. I'm telling you, we got something going on.
I will say this, that you guys, schools develop reputations for certain positions. And this school has produced running backs, wide receivers, safeties, and probably defensive, rush guys, edge guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Boye and Carter Coughlin. I agree. That's, if you think about it, and now we're starting to get into the O-line world. Because, Ariante, he's the top tackle on the board. One of the top tackles on the board. So, I don't know. We'll see. And we got some guy, I think is he from Marshall? Oh, where's he from? Doesn't matter. He led the nation in rushing yards per attempt last year.
The running back?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually pretty good. Yeah, that Marshall kid's pretty good. Yeah.
No, he's coming here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Embarrassment of riches. We're going to be so good next year.
That's news brought to you by Carbonis. Hi, everybody. Here's what's going on in your little world. Police say the Tesla Cybertruck that exploded outside the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas was rented in Colorado and linked to a man from Colorado Springs. Authorities have now identified the driver as a 37-year-old Army veteran. Speaking yesterday, the FBI and other officials confirmed the explosion killed the driver and injured 7 others. The Cybertruck was rented out of Colorado, a car rental app that allows users to rent vehicles from trusted hosts across the U.S. So, they're looking now as if a guy did it on purpose, right? That's that's what they're thinking. So they
had mortar-style fireworks and other stuff in the back. But I don't know what this guy was thinking because he put it in one of the more stronger vehicles. Say what you will about the Cybertruck. It's ugly as all hell, but it's built like a tank.
I think that was a statement, though, right? Like part of the deal.
I know, but pick a different Tesla if you're going to.
I guess so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. A North Carolina woman is going into the new year with one eye open after mistaking nail glue for eye drops.
Oh no!
Yeah.
What?
Oh my God!
Yeah, the woman who lives in Concord, North Carolina, said she mistook the bottle because it had a similar shape. She realized her mistake when she squirted the glue into her eye, and it sealed itself shut.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, doctors saying it could take up to 7 weeks before her eye will be able to open. And it'll have to be checked for damage.
They can't even check to see how the actual eye is because it's sealed shut.
Oh, my God. Golly.
Oh, what an idiot.
You guys ever see House of Wax? Remember that movie?
No.
You don't remember it?
I don't think I saw
With
it.
Paris Hilton?
Of course not. I did not see that.
You don't remember this at all?
The 2005 horror crime film?
It was like the movie of my generation. It was fantastic.
The movie of your generation.
One of them.
Dahmers were the same age. That is unequivocally false.
No, but the reason I bring it up, one of the torture scenes, they super glue her mouth shut. And she had to rip it open.
Who was that torture for?
I don't know. One of the But yeah, okay. Sorry I brought it up.
A couple husbands stood up in the theater and cheered.
You're like, that's a great idea.
It was a great film, I'm telling you. It was fantastic.
It has an approval rating of 27%.
It's the movie of your generation.
The movie of your generation has Paris Hilton in it.
That's all right. He's got a little brain fog.
Yeah.
By the way,
1,000 calories.
By the way, Paris Hilton won the Worst Supporting Actress Golden Raspberry Award for that film.
Sweet.
Okay. Thanks.
Nominated for Worst Picture.
It did win a Teen Choice Awards, though, Dahmer, so you're
see?
vindicated.
There you go.
Yep, that's right.
A Santa Cruz, California construction worker may have just surfed the biggest wave ever.
Not possible.
Yep, already been done.
Yeah, Bells Beach, Australia. 50-year storm.
23
did it.
23-year-old Alo Slabir caught a massive wave estimated to be 108 feet high near Half Moon Bay on December 23rd.
What?
Yep.
California produces waves that big?
Half Moon Bay.
That's a huge bitch.
That would be the current record. That would beat, I should say, the current record by 86 feet.
Wow. What?
While the wave's height still needs to be confirmed.
How do they do that?
Right.
I don't know.
Is it just him saying, yep, it was this tall?
Yeah.
Is there a video of it?
I'm sure there is, yeah. I don't know. Wow. Yeah, crazy, right?
Have you guys ever surfed? I've never surfed.
I tried one time.
Is it hard?
Very, very hard.
Tommy, here's the thing that sucks. As a guy that grew up wakeboarding, I think surfing looks unbelievably fun. But you know what the ocean has that Chisago Lake does not? Great white sharks.
Yeah.
The great Richard Oaknick once said if there were dinosaurs outside, we wouldn't go play baseball. So that's their turf, not ours. So I would have loved to surf. I just cannot get it out of my head because I've seen Jaws 200 times.
Yeah,
I can't separate the two. And I know every surfer will tell you, we all know they're out there. They don't attack us. They leave. I know that statistically you're very, very, very safe to surf. I know that. I ain't doing it.
I'm on your side. I mean, I'm the
No
victim.
thanks.
I'm a victim. Of a shark attack.
Right. You have been
You've
a
been
part of a
attacked by
shark
a shark.
attack.
Yeah.
3 sharks.
Yeah.
to be exact.
Right. You were
So-
surrounded by them and attacked.
But too fast for him. Sprinted out of there.
100%, yeah.
No
But
doubt about it.
I agree. I don't like the ocean anymore because of it.
I don't blame you.
It looks so fun. I would love to try it. I'm just never going to. I got to do one of those. You know how they have
I was gonna
those
say,
man-made surf
you
machine
could
things.
do that.
Yeah, those are
They have one in the Dells,
because
don't
then
they?
you just
We got to get one of those at Mall of America when they put up that new water park.
bet they have
Get
one.
one of those surf machines. I'll try that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That'd be fun.
Yeah. New York socialite Jocelyn Wildenstein, best known for addiction to plastic surgery, has died. Her longtime partner, fashion designer Lloyd Klein, says Wildenstein died of a pulmonary embolism Tuesday. She was 84. She was dubbed the Catwoman for undergoing multiple cosmetic procedures. You got to see her, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
here it is.
What's
Ben.
her name?
Just look up Catwoman. Also referred to as the Queen of Plastic Surgery.
Wow.
Yeah.
She denied ever going under the knife.
Well, let's hear her out. Zach,
can't
your
anymore.
hands up.
Woodhawk. Somebody has to ask.
100%.
Man, I tell you, that's
Oh, my heavens.
I know,
My
disturbing,
God.
right?
Oh,
Looks like
Disturbing.
Jigsaw.
imagine her face without makeup too, though.
I know.
God, rolling over in the morning, looking at that thing.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy.
Was she ever like?
I don't know what she looked like
Normal,
beforehand, but I
you
know
know?
she was a billionaire or married a billionaire, something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. Crazy.
If you're
Man.
a billionaire, couldn't you get somebody much more attractive than this?
Like I said, I don't know what she looked like before that. I'm not sure. Yeah.
It's probably just easy.
Yeah.
She's probably controllable.
She's a cat. Cats
Yeah,
aren't
she's a cat.
controllable. They live life on their own terms.
A new study shows drinking coffee is closely tied to a certain bacterium that has a role in gut health. You drink a lot of coffee, right, Tommy?
Yeah. So
See, you're good.
this is my first energy drink in probably like a year because we didn't have. We do the old store. No one cares. I didn't have coffee at my house last night, so I got an energy drink. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, I think we might be onto something.
Yeah.
Seth texted me, by the way.
And
She slept great, but the stomach's not doing well right now.
Yeah.
She's ready to get back on track health-wise.
she had
That's what said.
1/10 of what you did.
I
I
had
know.
2 cheeseburgers.
That's the best part about her, though. She supports this.
Yeah, right.
You know, I think
She's an
maybe.
enabler.
Yeah. It's kind of like giving the heroin addict the actual syringe, but
Right. And you're saying that's a good thing. That what she's doing is right.
She loves
But
him.
think if I did that by myself,
Oh, you know
how
what,
sad
though?
that would be.
I just got a text from Sess. She likes the idea of squirting glue into her eyes.
She actually wants to. She just wants to super glue your mouth shut.
That'd probably be good for me. I wonder, if I
7
did,
weeks would be
She
good.
wants you to go surfing. is what
since
she
I have
just said.
these 11,000 calories in me, how long do you think I could go without eating? Should I try? Should I try to make it till Monday?
About a year.
Because my body's probably fine.
No joke. There was a guy that did not eat food for a year, and he survived.
How is that possible, though? Like just electrolytes, or what are you doing for a? How is that
he was
possible?
he was a large human being, and you have enough energy stores in your fat when you're as big as this guy was.
Truly like a hibernating bear.
Yeah.
You're just surviving off of what you've stored.
I mean, you got to drink water and you need electrolytes, but you don't need food as much as you think you need food. Your body tells you need food, but you don't really.
How much did you lose? Any idea?
I don't remember what happened. I don't remember exactly. It was like 150, 200 pounds.
I just looked it up. The dude's name is Timothy Chalamet. Rail thin now.
He looks good.
He looks good. Good looking kid.
Yeah.
He's dating Catwoman.
No.
Jocelyn.
Yuck.
What do you mean, yuck? Don't judge. What if she was a sweet lady?
I'm sure she was, but on the outside is horrific.
That's not very nice.
Let's go to Hy-Vee, and when we come back, we'll talk to Fargo Flash, shall we?
Sure.
Time now for the Vikings Report, presented by Hy-Vee, the official grocery partner of the Minnesota Vikings. Linebacker Jonathan Grenard joins the power trip next, thanks to
Fan.
It's the final regular season feast tomorrow at Buffalo Wild Wings in Eagan. Be there as PA in charge. Get you set as the Vikings look to crown themselves Kings of the North this Sunday when they take on the Lions. Doors open at 8 a.m. with great food and drinks and great prizes up for grabs. Get the full details at KFAN.com. Keyword calendar.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, buddy.
I guess I don't know why I told you guys that.
That's the trust circle, baby.
No, I like it. Thank you.
But also, you got to pick a problem. You can only have one.
Yeah, I can't do both.
Yeah. Hey, let's go to a lovely Charlotte, North Carolina, where the lovely and talented Fargo Flash is coming to us live, getting ready for the Mayo Bowl.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Yeah,
and
not just
Tommy
any
mentioned earlier
mayo.
that you've never had Duke's Mayo.
Never had it.
But this might inspire you to do so.
Yeah, my buddy Fries, he texted me. He said that's all he has now.
He loves it.
Yeah, he
I
loves
love
it.
these frogs.
What about you, Flash? Have you had Duke's Mayo?
I have not had it, but I think I should here since I'm down in kind of the belly of the beast here. So it sounds like it would be a pretty good idea.
Well, maybe after PJ gets it dumped on him, you could lick it off of him.
Whoa. Okay.
Well, somebody
Talking
has
about
to.
Mayo, right?
Tommy, volunteer?
Just booking my flight.
All right. So, Tommy, you referenced earlier Flash, and you've been saying this for the last couple of weeks. This is a weird game because Virginia Tech is not the same team that they were a handful of weeks ago because of people leaving and whatnot. So what's the current status of this opponent that we're facing tomorrow?
I don't think there's a team that's playing in the bowl games in 2024, 2025 that has had more players opt out than Virginia Tech. So Virginia Tech is actually out 14 of their 22 starters, which includes both their top 2 running backs, their quarterback, 3 of their linemen, their top 2 wide receivers, all 4 guys in the secondary, and 2 of their 4 defensive linemen. So they're I think from what I've heard being down here for the last day, I've heard they haven't even completed their full opportunity to practices. I think their curfew's late. I just think this is a team that has had so many players opt out. They're kind of reeling and trying to figure out how to kind of throw together a team for Friday night. Now, again, one person's opt-out's a great opportunity for people to play, but there'll be a ton of inexperience on the field for Virginia Tech on Friday night.
Are there any opt-outs or injuries that on the Gopher side that are going to hamper the lineup? Or
yeah. Yep, there are, Ben. And I think that, that's the unfortunate thing of the bowl games in general besides the college football playoff. It's all about who's entered the portal and who's opting out because of their NFL status. I think the big thing for the Gophers obviously is Ariante Ursary, who's probably a late first round, early second round offensive tackle draft pick. He's going to obviously stay out. And of course, on the opposite side, Philip Daniels, who started the last 4 games of the year at right tackle. He obviously is now an Ohio State Buckeye. So those are probably the 2 biggest names. I think it's yet to be determined if Cody Lindenberg plays at middle linebacker. He, of course, is going to forego his last year of eligibility and get into the NFL. So my guess is he probably doesn't play just because he was a little banged up to begin with. So, again, he's trying to get healthy as he gets ready to work out here in the spring for the NFL teams. I think it will be, a game time decision if Daniel Jackson plays and Justin Wally plays. But so there's some impact, for the Gophers, but nothing in the magnitude of Virginia Tech. And I think that, of course, is going to be a huge storyline tomorrow night. And I think, besides the opt-out, then you got to figure out what you got. And you got one guy, Max Brosmer, who's hoping to play himself into the NFL draft and be the first Gopher quarterback drafted since 1972. So I think, again, could be a really big night for the guys that do stick around and could be a big night for Max Brosmer.
That's such a depressing stat. It's one we've talked about for so many years, but 1972.
It's a long time.
Jeez.
Crazy.
And we thought there was an outside chance Tanner, right, had peaked and Tanner was going to get drafted maybe late. That didn't happen. I think all of us feel confident that if Brosmer had played here for 2 or 3 years, maybe that's the case, right? If he did what he did this year for 2 or 3 years, maybe he would be drafted. But I think you said it, Flash. Maybe the sample size isn't large enough for NFL scouts. But we'll see. The kid can sling it.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. I think Max is, as we talked about at the beginning of the year, he made it's a big jump. I think people don't think it's as big as it probably looks like, but you're making a jump from playing, week in and week out in the FCS, and you make that jump to FBS football. The games is a step faster. The throwing windows are tighter. That being said, he's going to have to do the same thing at the next level. But once Max adjusted to it, he showed us he's the best quarterback that we've seen in the PJ Fleck era. And, my guess is, and I've said this before, but you look at the success like even a Brock Purdy has, I just think there's a chance for him to get into a program and, given the situation, maybe hang on as a third quarterback or at least a practice squad guy. But my guess is looking at the quarterback class, there's probably an outside chance, especially I think he's going to the Shrine Bowl here at the end of January. Depending on how he plays in that game as well, I think he has a chance to play himself into probably a 6th or 7th rounder. And then if not, he's going to be a priority rookie free agent.
Hey, Jess, I know a lot of people are flying in tonight, but how's the crowd so far for Go fans?
It's pretty good. The plane was full yesterday. I think this is the big day where most people arrive. I think it's going to, on TV you'll see this, but we're only 2.5 hours away from Blacksburg, Virginia. So this is going to be, and they sold out their ticket allotment within like a couple days. And so, despite the 6-6 record, despite the fact that, they ended on they lost 3 other Final Four games and, half the team obviously isn't even playing. I think it's going to feel like a home game for Virginia Tech, just given the proximity to Blacksburg. That being said, Minnesota's always traveled well to bowl games, and of course, Minnesota has the longest bowl victory streak in college football. It's 7 straight bowl games of W's, and of course, 5 of those are with PJ Fleck. And so I don't think anyone takes the bowl games more seriously than PJ Fleck. He runs a tight ship. He looks at this as an extension of 2024 and a preview of the 2025 spring practices. And so these guys are moving hard. I think that's why fans show up, and they'll be ready to play. So I think the fans are going to see a great game, and hopefully it's the beginning of a great weekend for Minnesota football.
Flash, we're down to the final 5 in college football. Georgia and Notre Dame got postponed, so they play today. But you have Georgia, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Texas, and Penn State. Those are the final 5. Who do you like?
Well, I think Ohio State. I think it's the Chip Kelly effect, and maybe Chip Kelly, it took him a while to get used to his offensive weapons, but as much as Ohio State complained after their loss to Michigan, those guys went to work. That wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, who we've talked about all year, he might be a top 5 wide receiver walking the world. He could step into the NFL team tomorrow. And so, he showed what he can do on a national stage yesterday. Their running back, Travion Henderson, he shows how powerful and how much burst he has. I know Ben and I have complained about Will Howard all year. Will Howard looks like a different quarterback the last couple of games. So it's been a weird deal. The college football playoff kind of sucks. But Ohio State looks like they're a team on a mission. Texas, as much as they had put that Arizona State team away, they let that team crawl back. And I think forever Arizona State, anyone in that program is going to look back on a 4th and 13 in that first overtime and will forever I think, regret selling out on that blitz. It was just such a sad play to watch from a defensive standpoint. So I like Ohio State. That being said, I think the winner of the game tonight, which obviously there's a lot going on that's bigger than football in New Orleans, but I think the winner of that game, later this afternoon, I think they're the other team that's going to probably be in contention. Penn State has played well. They've also played SMU and Boise State, right? So I think they've looked great in those games. I just don't think they've played great teams. But it's nice to see the Big Ten with the 2 of the 4 seats at the big table.
Thanks, Fargo.
Thanks, Flash.
Enjoy it, brother.
Yeah, I like the Gophers tonight, guys. I think this is the 3rd time this year we've cracked 30 points or more, and so I like the Gophers 34-7. Book it.
34-7.
All right,
that's great.
A blowout.
All right, thanks, Flash.
See you guys. I'll see you guys next
Enjoy
week.
the Mayo.
Tommy, what do you think? He says 34-7.
Well, just you heard what Just said. I don't think a lot of people are playing. The one thing I think we'll have to see what they're running because we don't know what their offense or defense will be. So it'll be a little bit of a slower start. I think we break away at the end. Yeah, I'm going 42-17.
So you think it's a blowout as well?
Yeah, I think it's a blowout.
All right.
Yeah.
T.O., we love you.
Love you guys.
Good to see you in 2025.
This is you guys caught me at my low today.
This is it. Jan 1 yesterday was your low.
Yep.
Jan 2 is the starting over point.
Start of a new year, new team.
You wait and see, brother. This is going to be great.
Well, how many calories have you had in the
0 so far.
Right. So far, Jan 2's shaping up nicely.
Good start.
Yeah, so between the 2 days, you're only averaging 5,500 a day.
That's right.
That's not that bad.
That's right. I agree. So yeah, no,
you'll get there.
We'll be fine. We'll be good. It'll be a good year.
All right, dude.
Got it.
Love you guys.
See you next week.
See you later.
The Vikings play a just gigantic, epic game on Sunday night against the Detroit Lions. We'll do Vikings news with former Vikings linebacker Ben Lieber and break it down after this on the Fan.
.com Tom Pelissero.
And Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. That's right. After this on the Fan.
Hey, join me tonight at Heartbreakers in Chaska for a Wild watch party. Get there at 6 o'clock to watch your Wild in action and to sign up for your chance to qualify for first round playoff tickets next year. It's actually this year now.
Yeah, man.
Get the full details now at KFAN.com keyword calendar. We'll see you at Heartbreakers in Chaska tonight at 6.
Completely forgot, but .com Tom, 8:20 today. My fault. I forgot he had changed some things up. So 8:20.
Well, it looked like he was raging on New Year's Eve with his kids, so he's probably hungover.
Probably was.
Crazy.
Yeah, he gets nuts, man. He gets nuts.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to him then. But there's plenty of Vikings news.
Tons.
Plenty of things going on. So we should probably do that.
It's time for Vikings news on the Power Trip, presented by
Radco.
So much on the line on Sunday night. I would say more so than anything else. Nick Swartzen and his reputation on the line because he guessed 15-2 preseason and he was laughed at.
Yep.
And if he gets this right, if they win, they're 15-2. They get the number 1 seed, home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs. They win the NFC North, and Nick Swartzen was right. No, he guessed the 2 games wrong.
Right.
It would be the 2 losses he will have gotten incorrect, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Still, 15-2 is a hell of a guess. Probably was a little bit in tongue in cheek.
A little off
Maybe
on
a little.
Just a little bit.
little off on the Super Bowl prediction too. I don't think they're
He
gonna.
did. He did. I guarantee you his Super Bowl prediction is wrong because he had the Vikings losing or winning. I think winning,
Yeah.
beating the Las Vegas Aces
Right. Of the
WNBA.
NBA.
Can't count them out, though.
No, you can actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a 0%er. Close to zero.
A couple of things for you, Ben. Questions. How big a difference is it to have Blake Cashman on the field versus the Lions this time versus the last time when we did not?
Huge.
Huge, right?
I mean, huge. I mean, if you remember all the different iterations that we had, there was one point in time in the first game, Dallas Turner was playing inside linebacker for us. Like we were trying to find the right combination. I think it was like Grugier Hill, then we had Gink in there, then Dallas Turner, and then obviously Metellus playing in there, which he does even now at that middle linebacker spot. But we had 4 different guys trying to play that spot and give different looks, and not one of them could play the position as well as Cash. So I do think it's going to be a much different feel for our defense now that he's on the field.
Looking at the box score from the first time these 2 teams played, Ben, the Lions held on and won 31-29. The Vikings had a chance, obviously, again, if they convert that third down, maybe they win. Jahmyr Gibbs in that game, 15 carries for 116 yards for an average of 7.7 a carry and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So they don't have Montgomery anymore.
They don't have Montgomery. Yep. He's out.
Is he still like crossing his fingers that he can get back for the postseason though? Is he still actively trying to get back? Because he's still on the injury report. Like
I suppose if he's not like completely shelved.
I don't think because remember after the first report was he's done for the year, but then hours later they're like, nah, he's not loving that. He's going to look for a second opinion. So I don't know if he's still trying to get back. My guess is that he is, because otherwise, why would he be in the injury report? Right. Why wouldn't they just IR him and say you're done? Either way, he didn't do much against us in game 1. 9 carries for 31 yards, but
and he had a fumble, right? I think he's the one that fumbled early in the game. Like we got a fumble in the first series, wasn't it? I think the very first drive we caused a fumble. So yeah, ball security was an issue with him. He didn't really do much yardage wise. I mean, everybody knows that Gibbs is the guy to stop, both in the run and the pass game. He's so dynamic. Anzalone, if that does anything for you defensively for them, I think he's going to try to fight his way back from that broken forearm. And I don't know if that's going to be just a pain tolerance thing or if there's actually some functionality that he's missed because of that broken forearm. But they're trying to, I mean, he may be one of the many starters that they would hope to have back for a playoff run. But he'll definitely be back for the playoffs. Unsure if he's going to play in this game, but it sounds promising. Which will be helpful because watching those guys defensively at specifically the linebacker spot, they desperately need his athleticism back in there.
I don't know why I'm just feeling like they're going to lose on Sunday night, but I don't even feel that bad about it. I don't know why I feel either of those things. But my gut is that they lose, and my gut is saying, like, that's fine. We'll just go win at Tampa or wherever we have to go.
It just depends on how it looks, though, right?
True. And injuries, obviously. If we get decimated, then the wild card game would feel different. I don't know.
I feel good for some reason.
Detroit against San Francisco looked so unstoppable. I'm like, man.
San Francisco had nothing to play for.
True. But they couldn't. It looked like they were going all out for pride. Like that team looked like they were truly trying. Not that kind of pride in San Francisco, Zachary.
But
it looked like it was all right. We don't have anything to play for, but we still should run it back next year and be pretty good. But they just couldn't do anything. Detroit just put up unbelievable numbers offensively.
It is. It's hard to tell when you're watching the game. But I'm with you. I thought that San Fran was giving them everything they've got. If you just popped in this game and did not pay attention to the scenario leading into the week, you would think that these are two teams playing just a regular season football game where winning really matters. So, but when you watch the film too, it's like, how much of their back end, I don't know. They left some guys open. There's also a lot of creativity that goes into the Lions offense. So it seemed like they gave them everything they had, and they were playing really, really hard. And they still got out schemed. Look, I mean, we gave the Lions a hell of a game the first game. So, it's on their turf now. It's in their place, bigger implications. I do feel pretty good about this game. I feel the way Chris feels, and probably less the way you feel. But even Dan Campbell is saying, look, this is a big game, but it's not a playoff game. Yeah. Like, he's even trying to tell his players, like, listen, this is a big game, and we want to win this game. We know what this game means. But both teams still know that this is not everything. Like, the loss on Sunday does not mean that your season's over. You might make it a little tougher on yourself, but according to him, and I'll quote him, he likes it hard, you guys.
Right. And like we mentioned last week, think if you are the, whatever it is, Tampa or whoever we're going to end up playing, the loser plays, that team gets rewarded by winning the NFC South and has to face a 14-3 team.
Yeah.
They're probably not thrilled that either Minnesota or Detroit is headed their way in round one.
Not at all.
Even though they're the home team. That's got to be terrifying. And again, not that the game mattered, but the Niners probably could have won that game if Jake Moody just makes kicks. Mm-hmm. He missed a million kicks to the point where his career is in jeopardy because he looks like he is broken. And Purdy had two balls that sailed on him, and they were both picked off. Two balls that sailed.
Those balls sailed.
But both of them were about 2 feet high, and both of them went right to, I think, Kirby Joseph. Those were game changers as well. So 475 yards of offense the Niners put up on the Lions. So if you're optimistic about the Vikings offense on Sunday night, 475. That's how much the Detroit Lions gave up to the San Francisco 49ers. And 34 points. And again, it could have been 40 plus if Moody just makes kicks.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. That's where everybody's kind of going with this game is it could potentially be, it would not surprise anybody if it was that sort of a shootout. That it's going to be a 38-35 sort of game.
Yeah, what's the over-under? Let's check this out.
If not more than that.
I would be floored if it was 17-13, right? If the final score was 17-13.
Yeah.
It feels like it's...
I feel like it'd be a
winners,
lot of sloppy play offensively if that was the case.
The winner is going to be 30 plus, right? There's no way... I think it's... Let's see here. The over-under is 56.5. So, essentially 28 apiece.
Yeah, I'd go the over on that one.
Here's KOC on a key factor for Sunday night's game.
I think the turnover margin is going to be a huge number. It always is, but you go on the road to an environment like this and you give them the momentum of the football, unexpectedly, that could be a huge momentum turning play, and vice versa. It works both ways for you when you can force them.
Tell me a little bit about the differences between this game and the first meeting, KOC.
Both teams are very different. And that's what happens regardless of wins, losses, injuries. The journey of a season, you're a new team almost every week, it feels like, in some capacity. And you just get to week 18, game 17. Both teams kind of know who they are. Both teams kind of know how they want to play. And then it comes down to all these really little details.
That game was October 20th. That was 2.5 months ago.
Feels like 10.5 years ago.
Yeah, it seems forever ago.
It does.
Hey, can I ask you a question you don't technically know the answer to because you were never a field goal kicker? Mm-hmm. But we were just talking about Jake Moody for the Niners, how it looked like he was breaking in front of our eyes. Will Reichard, a week ago, misses 2. Mm-hmm. One hit the upright. One was short from 57, right? Hit it clean, just maybe popped it up a little bit. Mentally, if you miss them the way that he missed them, where it's, all right, you hit the upright, that's a little unlucky, not a terrible kick probably, and you're a little bit short from damn near 60 yards. Are those different mentally than just missing them wide right or wide left from 38 yards out?
Way different feel.
I would think so.
Yeah, if anybody watched that Texas game, I mean, that kicker missing those field goals, that's that's a mental killer.
Those start breaking you.
Yeah, that's a psychological killer. I think what happened with Reichert, he'll bounce back from it. I don't think it's going to be an issue at all. I doubt that he's got the yips now. I don't think he's overthinking it. That longer one, he's like, yeah, I probably could have driven that ball a little bit more. But, you obviously want to get it over the line and all this other stuff. I mean, they're obviously thinking that's going to be a lower trajectory as well. So probably just, I don't know how they make the adjustment, such a minute adjustment, because you're talking just centimeters of difference when you impact the ball. And I don't, based on how the season that he's had, I don't have any issues with him going to this game.
Speaking of just kicking psychology, you just mentioned the Texas kicker who missed a couple, right, including the one that could have won the game at the end of regulation. He hit the upright. Sarkisian comes out and basically hugs him on national TV right before he's out there to kick the game winner, right? Giving him the whole, you're going to do this, buddy.
We believe in you.
Right. And when I was watching, that was almost exactly when I turned the game on. I'm like, all right, I better see what's going on here. And I turn it on and Sark's hugging him like that. And I'm going, I don't know. It's like, is that almost like the equivalent of positivity, like a positivity icing? Like, I don't know if I would think I would want to be left alone by my coach.
Yeah.
That was almost too much.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I was calling the miss, but I'm like, ooh, man, this almost looks like a dad telling a 6-year-old to go out there and give it your best, buddy. I'd be like, I'm a kicker. Just let me be. Either way.
No,
thought that was strange.
I wonder the psychology. If I'm a head coach, you get caught up in the moment and you see a kid that may be reeling a little bit because he missed a kick earlier, and you want to give him some pot. You want him to know that, hey man, I still believe in you. I don't know if that's the method I would choose. It just seems like a little you're hugging me and patting me on the top of the head and you got it, man.
Yeah, it seems a little almost condescending.
Yeah,
a little
it seems
bit,
condescending, right?
Instead of just truly going, just give him the head nod, you got this.
Right.
And that's enough.
Like a head nod and just be a little fist pump, go
game winner,
man.
You got it.
Go nail it.
Right. And again, Will Reichert has kicked every kick in the world, right? That's one of the advantages of playing for a team like Alabama is I'm sure he's kicked the highest pressure kicks you can imagine playing for Alabama. So I doubt he's nervous about anything moving forward. He's been ice cold all year. He's been awesome. So I'm not worried about the kicks either. I'm just wondering if
maybe he needs a hug.
Maybe why you want to hug him?
I think KOC could take care of that.
Okay.
Well, we'll see.
Wouldn't mind seeing it.
Yeah, we'll see. The guy who doesn't seem to need a hug when he makes a mistake is Sam Darnold. Here's the quarterback on rebounding from his mistakes.
Obviously, the experiences that I've had in the past, being on other teams and just making some mistakes during games and understanding what it feels like to maybe throw an interception or, fumble the ball and, just something bad happens. It's okay, how fast can you move on? Because at the end of the day, when you do something like that, it doesn't matter anymore. You just got to continue to do your best to move on and worry about the next play.
We talked about that on the headset, Ben, when he marches right down after the interception.
Yeah.
It is pretty incredible how many times he's done that this year.
So I think experience and education are two big parts of the psychology of doing what he's doing, because you definitely need the experience of being there, making mistakes. Everybody does. And whatever you're doing, making mistakes, fine. They are true learning moments. I think the difference is the education of why he's making those mistakes. And I'm just going to assume that maybe early in his career, maybe he just wasn't fully understanding what was the defense doing. What was my guy that I was throwing to? What was he supposed to be doing? What are all the details? And that's the one thing that we've heard from KOC is they drill so much of the education in the finer details of route running and all this other stuff and play design and then what the defense is giving you. I think it's a lot easier to bounce back when you're I made that mistake because with clarity and confidence, this was the coverage. This is what the guy saw. This is what we were doing. Now I can learn from that and just move on. It's way harder when you make the mistake and you're I don't really know how that just happened. I thought I saw something, they did something else, and I'm still not sure what coverage they're in. So the next time it happens in the game and they give you the same coverage or whatever, if you're still confused, a high probability you're going to make the same mistake. So I'm guessing that so much of his experience and where he's been, and then now with the coaching and the education, it's all right, cool. Made a mistake. Know exactly why I made the mistake. And sometimes it's just on me. I'm pressing. I made a bad throw or I was inaccurate. As long as you can recognize that, you just go out the next series and just rip it like he's been doing it.
Also wonder how much of it is back in the day. If I throw this interception, if I throw another, if I do something wrong, I'm going to have X happen to me.
Yeah, I'm
He's
going to get
done
berated.
all of that,
Yeah.
and it all happened to him. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, he's lived through the worst possible scenario.
And I think that just knowing Josh McCown and his personality and his demeanor and the fact that he has playing experience he's literally been in this guy's shoes, and not that long ago. I think we do give a lot of credit where credit is due, and KOC for sure he's the mastermind behind the whole offense, but the assistant coaches are the ones that spend the most time with every single player, and especially in a room where there's 3 guys. Yeah. There's not 15 to 18 players in that room. There's not, 9 to 10 players. There's 3 guys in that room. He gets all the attention. I have to think that a lot of the psychology and his ability to sort of bounce back and have this mental resilience comes from Josh McCown. And, I'm guessing just his, I wouldn't say tough love, but just his understanding of like, look, I'm not going to berate you for every single mistake you make. Like, I've been there. I need to take care of you. Like, this is not about like, magnifying your mistakes and making you feel diminished and dismissed and small. Like, no, this is about empowering you to go out there and be, a killer.
Do you think Darnold's mentality could ever fit back with the Jets? Because there's already rumors that the Jets might at least, fan that flame a little bit and see if he's available. I just can't see Sam going back to the Jets. Like, even if
it's going to be new coaching staff,
it's just like you've got out of that bubble and now you're thriving. I just can't see him going back to New York, regardless of the money, because I think he's going to get that money almost wherever he goes.
He'll get the money.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me. Now, look, we're not in that organization. I don't know how much love he felt there, but even if they get a quarterback-friendly head coach and the system works out for him, I have to think that just the feel of walking in those halls again is not the same supporting environment. It's just going to be too many things in the closet, too many nightmares, too many ghosts there. You got to move on and get fresh.
And look, Sam is not going to win NFL MVP, right? Josh Allen's the favorite. Lamar Jackson's right behind him. But how about on DraftKings right now? He's 100-1 because, again, it's dead money with a week to go. But he's 6th. And Mahomes is 400-1. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have a guy that is going to finish somewhere in that top 4 to 7 range for MVP voting. And he had a better year than Patrick Mahomes. I know Mahomes is, what are they, 15-1?
Yeah.
But he's had a better statistical year than the greatest quarterback, arguably, that's ever lived.
So is Baker Mayfield.
And
Saquon Barkley should be.
Exactly. Baker is also ahead of Patrick Mahomes, and Saquon's ahead of Patrick Mahomes as well. Yeah. Crazy. Baker, you called it, man. You were one of the first Baker fans that I even heard nationally or locally. You were the sneaky one that said he was going to be the number 1 pick, and you were right. And look, Baker's the exact same thing as Sam, right? Just wrong organization, wrong time. Mm-hmm. I think the Browns would probably kill to have Baker Mayfield back. With the current Baker Mayfield, we might see him in a week.
We might see him in a week. I do love me some Baker.
You do like Baker. He's got it now, man.
Yeah, he's got it.
Did he throw up 5 a week ago? Did he have 5 touchdown passes? Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he's fun. To me, he's just fun to watch. I like his personality. I think it's fun loving and not. I don't think it's overly cocky. I think he has the self-awareness to know that the way he comes off and his persona. But I think it's done in such a positive way. It's outside of the flag planting in college that caused some controversy. A lot of his stuff is within. It's like with his own players. Like, he celebrates with his players. He's celebrating the game of football all the time. That's why I feel like I enjoy him. I don't think it's like, look at me. It's just like, I just enjoy playing this kid's game.
Well, if we're talking about revenge on former teams, we need TJ Hawkinson to get in the end zone against Detroit on Sunday.
Yeah.
Still 0 receiving touchdowns this year for TJ. Let's get him in the end zone. Game winner? Nice call. Fan 5 in a second.
That just said that?
Tom Pelissero in
Very emotional.
20 minutes. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on The Fan.
Like she was when